Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome if you're new. Thank you for taking time out of your day to check the video out. We have more PlayStation news, rumors, and leaks to go over and cover today. So do me a favor before we dive into these topics. If you end up enjoying the video or finding it informative, be sure to leave it a like. Helps the videos out a lot. And if you are new here to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button as well. The first topic we're talking about has to do with a new limited edition Hogwarts Legacy Dualsense controller that will be available tomorrow, but in limited quantities. This is coming from PlayStation Lifestyle. They say a Hogwarts Legacy limited edition DualSense PS5 controller will be available tomorrow in select regions, with a release later in the month for others. The catch is that the controller will only be available through PlayStation Direct in limited quantities, and it won't be available through third-party retailers. The black DualSense controller is decorated with an image of Hogwarts surrounded by swirling motifs and ancient magic, all in gold. The team did consider using designs that incorporated the different houses, magic wands, beasts, and the sorting hat, but ultimately chose to focus on the star of the game, according to art director Jeff Bunker. So in the UK, the controller is going to go on sale tomorrow, February 10th at 10 a.m. GMT. In the US, it's also going up for pre-order tomorrow at 10 a.m. PT. Now again, you can only do this through PlayStation Direct, and they will have very limited quantities, so you'll have to just do what you can to try to secure one. And I feel like some people are probably a little bit annoyed by this, only because when you look at this controller, I feel like it's one that would have sold really, really well. Something that maybe if it was more widely available, a lot of people would have liked to have, bought one. But let me know if you're going to try to secure this DualSense. So, yeah, let me know your thoughts on that. Next up, we have another PlayStation classic that has been discovered. Hasn't been officially announced yet, but it seems like it's up next. Coming from PS Lifestyle, another entry in Ben Studios' Siphon Filter series looks all set to join PS Plus. Trophies for Siphon Filter Dark Mirror have been published online, indicating a PS Plus premium release soon. Siphon Filter Dark Mirror, originally released in 2006 for the PSP and a year later for the PS2, Sony hasn't made an official announcement, so we don't know which version is headed to PS Plus, but you are able to, check out the entire trophy list for yourself if that's something you're interested in. And so, yeah, just wanted to kind of give you guys this heads up. If you are a PS Plus Premium subscriber and you look forward to these classics, specifically ones, from Sony that are going to have trophy support, looks like Siphon Filter Dark Mirror is up next. Moving on from that, we have another one here that lets us know the PS5 has enjoyed its biggest sales week in Japan since launch. Reading from PlayStation Universe, Sony has celebrated its best sales week yet for PS5 in Japan since the console's launch back in November 2020, with 93,000 units moved during the week ended February 5th, 2023. The only time that the PS5 managed to top that sales figure was at launch, when it sold 118,000 units, according to data collected by Game Data Library. In addition, it notes that sales for Sony's latest generation home console during the past 5 weeks have tracked higher than those recorded during the first 4 months of 2022. PS5 has seen a huge increase in available stock this year, with Jim Ryan, president and CEO of Sony Interactive Entertainment, recently declaring that the PS5 shortage has officially ended. So, yeah, I wanted to make sure to highlight this as well, because this is just another piece of data that shows us just how big of a difference we're seeing to the start of 2023 compared to 2022, where, now in Japan, we are beginning to finally see the PS5 really start to sell well and do just much, much better than it was doing previously. Definitely something that you love to see. Moving on from that, though, we have some more interesting data. Apparently, 73% of players are on PlayStation for Call of Duty, whereas 69% are on PlayStation for first-party exclusives. This is reading from PlayStation Universe. They say the UK's CMA continues to provide issues for Microsoft as the tech giant tries to purchase Activision Blizzard. While it may have seemed at one point that this deal would be an easy feat for Microsoft, each day now it seems like the chances of it closing are going down at an alarming rate. We saw part of that happen today with the CMA publishing its provisional ruling, which explains why it currently sees the merger as something that will ultimately make the industry less competitive and be bad for consumers. GamesIndustry.biz's Christopher Dring points out some pretty revealing numbers that may also help explain why the CMA is taking the stance it is. According to a survey run by the CMA, 73% of players stated that they are a PlayStation user because of Call of Duty, while only 69% of users said it was the first-party exclusives that drove them to the platform. Furthermore, when asked if the current Call of Duty title available was not released on PlayStation, 53% said that they would have still stuck with the platform, while around 3 in 10, or 31%, would have bought another device. 7% of people said that they just wouldn't have bought a gaming device. Of the people who said that they would buy a different or another gaming device, 61% responded they would buy an Xbox over going with a PC capable of the games that they would look to play. Those survey results shed more light on why the CMA is taking the stance it is and enforcing what could be industry-changing alterations to the deal if it happens with one of its suggested conditions. So yeah, I just wanted to go over this data because I think it does help paint a clear picture as to, why the CMA may have taken the stance they are choosing. I know that, a lot of people on the internet just want to say that it's because of Jim Ryan and Sony and the things that Sony is saying and doing. And I've tried to make it clear to people before that, look, I know it's easy to make it seem like Sony is the one throwing a massive wrench into this, but in reality, these regulators have access to all of the information that they want from Sony, from Microsoft, from everybody else. They have access to all of it. There's no doubt that Sony is trying to influence them any way they can, just like Microsoft is. But at the end of the day, this survey, I think, kind of speaks volumes, right? I mean, I got to say, it is a little bit disappointing to hear that 73% of people say that they're on PlayStation for Call of Duty. But hey, 69% still saying first-party exclusives. I'd say that's pretty close, but it just goes to show, man, that a lot of people play Call of Duty, and where Call of Duty is available is ultimately going to determine, where people decide to play, at least a good chunk of them. Anyway, we are going to move on to the final topic, which is Sony teasing potentially a big PlayStation announcement for Sunday, specifically regarding God of War Ragnarok. Fans are going a little bit crazy right now with speculation and excitement. This was received by MP First, and it says PlayStation invited fans to keep their eyes peeled on its social channels for more surprises and celebrations of fan-favorite PS5 games. Today, Odin's Ravens spotted a new teaser on PlayStation Canada's Instagram and Facebook channels, forecasting a blizzard on Midgard this Sunday night. To see how it all plays out, make sure you tune in to the big game this weekend. And if you look at this teaser, it shows a football stadium covered in snow, or like a blizzard, obviously, and then there's Mjolnir sitting right there, so certainly a pretty significant tease. And the thing about this is it has fans kind of, as I said, going a little bit crazy with speculation, like, is this going to be God of War Ragnarok DLC? No, I don't think so, because Eric Williams, the director of Ragnarok, made it pretty clear that they don't really have any plans for DLC, saying that they pretty much put everything in the game that they possibly could. So I definitely wouldn't anticipate that. I know a lot of people are holding out hope for it, but I don't think so, guys. I don't think that's going to happen, although it would certainly be a big surprise. The other thing that people are wondering is if this is where we're going to get a New Game Plus release date announcement. We actually did get the official confirmation of New Game Plus back in December of last year, where Santa Monica said that it's something we can anticipate for this spring. So I don't know that they would take up ad space, right, during the big game, which is, for those who don't know, it's absurdly expensive to have an ad during this sporting event. It's actually kind of known for how ridiculously expensive it is. So Sony is paying a lot of money for whatever they're going to show during this game. So I don't think they're going to use that as the opportunity to announce, New Game Plus release date. I'm going to be honest, what I think this is simply is just more PS5 marketing, specifically marketing the PS5 alongside God of War Ragnarok. This is Sony's biggest game, their newest first-party game that they have out. It's doing colossal numbers. It's doing incredibly well for them, breaking records. And we've already seen the big marketing push that Sony's put forward now that the shortage is over. They're marketing the PS5 all over the place. And what better place to do that than the big game this Sunday, when, you know, this is the most watched sporting event in the US. A lot of people tune in. So I think it's just basically, as unexciting as it sounds, going to be an ad for the PS5 and for God of War Ragnarok. And if it ends up being anything more than that, I will genuinely be surprised, and that would be amazing. But I feel like I have to just kind of, you know, temper people's expectations and let you guys know, like, if you're expecting something big, I probably wouldn't go into it thinking that's what we're going to get. But, you know, I'm always open for a surprise if that's what Sony decides they want to do. But I definitely had to talk about this because I will say, honestly, just Sony having an ad during this game is kind of a big deal in and of itself. This is the, in my opinion, absolute clear sign that there is no more shortage whatsoever. I don't think that there was any doubt, but if there was, this is the clear sign that no, Sony definitely would not be paying for a big game advertisement like this if their, you know, console wasn't widely available for everyone to pick up. So good news all around, I would say. That does it for the video though, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you found it informative. If you did, leave it a like, subscribe if you're new, hit the bell notification icon, and feel free to share the video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.